two teams have come off the bye to beat a side that played the week before.
Yep.
How's the bye sat with you?
We probably tested the water a little bit after Sydney game. We stayed up there a little bit longer, so we probably sort of had a mini break after Sydney, and then we've sort of had a rehearsal for this week. So we spoke about it. We don't want to make it, a big thing, but we need to come back with the same approach that we've had before the break.
Do you think it is harder to mentally prepare when it's stretched out?
I'm not sure. I think, I suppose it's the way you start the game. I think that'll be a real key for our group to make sure we start the game really positive and get off to a good start. I think that creates the, your memory from last time you played and just getting those good habits straight back into the game. I think that'll be pretty critical.
That's another trend about the bye. Teams are not just losing, but they're actually starting poorly.
Yeah.
Because up in the first term by the Cats, and even coming off the bye, you guys kicked 2-6 against the Kilo. I know inaccuracy was a factor, but didn't take your chances early on.
Yeah, I think it's something pretty critical from the start of the game is to get off to a good start and get yourself into a rhythm. I think that'll be pretty critical to make sure that we do, whether we're in front or behind it. I think it's the way you're going about it is pretty, I suppose, a key indicator for us anyway.
So how do you do that? Do you just stress it during the week to get it into the players' minds, or is it something you can actually do pre-match? I
think it's pre-match. I think you go down, I suppose, the process that we've gone down, and we don't change from that point of view. So that'll be something that what did we do pre the break? These are the things that have kept us in good stead, and making sure that we hit those KPIs early in the game.
Is Brocky McLean get his go this week?
It'll be really close. Ed will not come up, so he'll be extremely close.
Yep. How I guess he's been working on a few things in the VFL. He's obviously got himself up to a point now where he's ticked the boxes as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, I think it was about continuity in Brock's game. I think because he couldn't get that continuity of playing every week and allowing his body to get through a month of footy, and he's done that. I think he's had 4 or 5 good weeks where he's had pretty much 30 possessions plus at VFL level, played high game time and done a great job for the team down there, but not just with his, I suppose, winning the ball, but it was his spread and run. He just looks like he's back to AFL intensity.
Was he rested with Friday night in mind?
Yeah, he was, yeah.
Speaking of intensity, Brett, I mean, in your own playing experience, when you're catching a side coming off such an emotionally draining experience like last week against Carlton, is it a good time to play them? Is there such a thing as that period?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it doesn't matter when you play them. I think what it does do, the tough games actually give you a lot more confidence. I know they could be draining because you build yourself up for it, but the confidence factor that comes out of those games is, okay, we can take on anyone and play anyone, and I think that's what the Cats will, really have. That the confidence would have gone up another 5-10% in their own belief, I think.
I guess the hard fact to 7-0 is a challenge for you, isn't it?
It is. We want to keep our momentum going forward, and they're in great form, and what a great challenge.
Brett, I'm not sure if you've heard since you've come off the training track, Bobby Davis passed away. They'll make it an emotional occasion for Geelong.
Yeah, one of the greats of the game and his involvement in AFL footy. It's a sad time for football in general, not just for Geelong, but I think for the AFL as well. One of the great characters and what he did for the game, so he'll be sadly missed.
How different are they? How different prospect are Geelong to the last time you played them?
Well, we played them in a NAB challenge game here, so I think it was about a goal differential in that day. I know there's more interchange and the games are different, but we played them not that long ago, so we've seen a real, I suppose, shift in the trend of their, I suppose, Mark Thompson performances versus their Chris Scott performances. There's a bit of a shift in that, so from that point of view we've seen them play a little bit different. They're pressing a lot harder than they have previously and they're getting good results from it.
Cleared for...
He'll play in the reserves and he'll play roughly 50-60% game time, so it'll be great to get the big fella back in action.
How's he looking on the track? Does he look rebounded hard or connection?
I think that fluctuates a little bit. I think, I suppose, how much work he's doing behind the scenes with it's extra running and then he comes out and trains, he might look a little bit flat, but I think about a week ago, I I was trying to push the sports science side to push him back a week or two earlier. Would have been nice because he was marking everything in that in one of our drills. So, but he's going to take a little bit of time, and it's just going to, for our supporters and for our playing group to see him out there running around again, it'll be very encouraging. For
Have you mapped it? You've sort of got 3 games, 4 games?
Yeah, 3 to 4 games. I think it'll depend how the knee goes, how it responds after, I suppose, a lot more combat in his games, and I suppose how he feels as well. The intensity will go up. He'll be blowing the candles out, I think, after 5 or 10 minutes, even at VFL level on the weekend. But we'll judge it how it responds after games, I think.
What do you have sort of mapped out for him for the rest of the year? I mean, can you expect him to be that mobile ruckman and everything that he was last year, or do you want to really use him more up forward?
Yeah, I think the way the trends of the game, we'll have to sort of see how it goes, but I'd say he'll be up forward and used as that mobile ruckman, behind Warnock and those blokes, yeah.
Do you have any scope for non-compulsory changes with the Cats in mind?
We sort of had a fair look at the Cats, and we've got match committee this afternoon. So, we've got Curnow out, so we've got to make a change. White, Laidler, they're available to come back in. So they'll definitely Jeremy will come back in. So we'll have to see there if we make any more changes.
The discussion over whether Eddie Crizzet's going to come back last week, sort of joke that you were discussing with sports science, was that a sort of a casual comment, or were you in extended talks about, look, I want him to play sooner than you?
No, we took a conservative approach to make sure that everything was cherry ripe, but it'll be about Matty's continuity, about playing week to week. We want to make the build-up and the transition for him fairly smooth, so we don't want him to play 1 week or 2 weeks and have a spell. We want him to keep playing football and gradually build that up. And maybe last week might not have been, there was just a little bit of a risk, so we decided not to play.
I'm just wondering, it was a big night talk a few weeks ago about, different stages of the season. Do you have a plan like coming up with this bye now and the next 7 weeks and 7 weeks after that? Do you build it in blocks, or is it just...
You haven't been to our meetings, have you? We actually did. We blocked it out for 7 weeks, and this is our next phase. So yeah, we do. Yep, we've done through past history. We've actually broken it down to 3-week blocks. But this year's a little bit different. We're sort of into our stage 2 now.
How do you rate that first block?
It's a tick. Yep, it's a pass.
What's a pass for the second block? What's the expectation?
I think it's about, I suppose, the way we go about our football to continue that. That was the biggest thing, I suppose, in the first block, that we had to make sure. We wanted to become a tougher and harder team and more ruthless, and I think we achieved that. And I think the biggest challenge will be about improving on that and also maintaining that as well. And I think that's the next stage for us, to make sure as a team we don't lose the respect that we're starting to build up, and that perception outside as well, to make sure that we continue that and keep our own confidence in building our own game individually but also collectively as a team.